Okay, so I have the Ghost Coast father, legendary Cedric Ebony, on the line. How are you?
They don't know me as Cedric Ebony.
What they know you as?
Jrock.
Oh!
Y'all keep saying Cedric. That's just like Kevin be talking about Cedric on the mic, and I'll be like, baby, that is my government.
I apologize. Guys, we have the legendary Jrock Ebony. I don't know why I felt so comfortable with Cedric in that moment. I like, you couldn't have, like, I don't know what that was.
Hey, listen, I guess I cannot outpower who I really am.
So, let's get into Ballroom. When did you, what was your first ball like? When did you first come out?
I came out, well, I started working balls in late 2007, so, but I always just tell everybody 2008.
Okay.
I knew about it before then because of Hurricane Katrina, and everybody started moving to LA.
When you say Hurricane Katrina, you don't mean Femme Queen Performance legendary diva. You mean Hurricane Katrina, the weather tragedy.
Yes, the actual tragedy. Yeah, Hurricane Katrina dispersed a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
I was stationed in New Orleans, and that's why I actually came out to be gay in New Orleans. So some of my kids and brothers and family went to Atlanta, and some of them went to Houston. And when they started coming back, like to, kind of take care of their homes and stuff, they was bringing back those ball DVDs, Andre DVDs, Serve the Kids, and all that stuff, Walk For Me Wednesday, and they were showing me, oh, this is a ball, and all this kind of stuff. So that's when I learned about ballroom and stuff, and being on, but actually walking and everything, that was late 2007.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a deeper question. When did you first realize... Well, let me just ask you. What's your sexual identity? Like
sexual identity?
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about? Am I a butch queen, a man?
No. So maybe
I'm pansexual, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess I meant to say your orientation.
Yeah, I'm pansexual.
Okay. So when did you first realize that?
I first realized I was pansexual when I would guess that would be like maybe 5 years ago when I understood what the word pansexual meant. But as in, I've always been, since I was a child, if I were to say attracted to someone, I was attracted to people, but I didn't understand what that was called. So, growing up, you would say bisexual. Mm-hmm. Right? So when I became a teenager and everything, I knew I was bisexual. I just never acted upon it. I didn't even act upon like hetero norms until maybe 17. But when I had went to the military and stuff and was like in my early 20s, I realized that it really didn't matter if it was a girl, a boy, or a personal trans experience. It really mattered if it was a person, period. If you treat me good, then I feel it was like an energy thing, basically. As long as it was human, I wasn't attracted to nothing but a human because it goes kind of crazy.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So when you came into Ballroom in 2007, early 2008, what categories did you walk?
My first category in Ballroom was Bush Queen European Runway.
Okay. So you did the twirls and all of that and wore flowy dresses?
No. That's what made me not walk it no more.
It was too feminine for you?
It was too much drag, if you ask me. Like, it was too much. Like, the reason I walked is because I knew how to walk. Like, I liked, like, Tyra Banks, Naomi Campbell, and stuff like that. And by me being in the military in such a macho environment, when I came in the Ballroom, I wanted to find the queerest thing I could do to just try to make myself appreciate just being that I'm a part of the gay community. So I picked runway because someone told me I was too short to walk runway. I'm too bow-legged. It looks weird. So I just started walking runway, but I like the clean runway, like like say for instance you had on a fitted suit or either some nice tight like pants or something like that with a blazer, or more chic looking like where you can get into the actual crossover and the walk, versus when I really started getting ballroom and seeing effects. That's when I turned away from that, because I'm not doing all that, because where I'm gonna put all that stuff once I get finished with it, I'm really cheap, so I don't got time for all that. The makeup, the big giant, getting 50,000 Legos and making I don't got time.
Okay, so then that era passed, the runway era passed, and then you started walking Realness and soon Realness with a Twist. Is that correct?
Yes. How that came about was I was walking European runway like the first 2 years, and Ebony. Ebony came to Texas one time for a ball, and they were trying to introduce all the kids in Texas, and I was a kid at the time, and they said, "This is Jrock," and he said, "What do he walk?" And then I said, "Well, I walk runway, but I'm not feeling it when I want to change my category." And then he said, "What you want to change your category to?" I said, "Executive Realness." He said, "I don't see it." I said, "What do you mean you don't see it?" He was like, "I don't see it." I said, "First of all, you could not see me when you got back page thugs walking up on the runway every day, but my normal life is walking in the projects, knocking on hood men door, telling them I'm going to take their son to the Navy and make a man out of them, and they don't never question my sexuality out in these streets. So I know that I can walk executive realness. If those guys you got out there in Ballroom is walking all these categories as realness, I know I can walk realness." And so he was like, "Make me know it." And then Stuart was like, "Make me know it." And then my first time stepping out in executive realness, I won grand prize against the executives, the schoolboys, and all of them that walked against me. And so I just kept it right there. And then Realness with a Twist came with, like I said, I've been dancing since I was in kindergarten, like on dance teams and everything. So J-Lo Allure used to be down in Texas for a while, and J-Lo, they started having these little Vogue sessions, and J-Lo just basically got me together and showed me like what a duck walk was, what the elements was, stuff like that. And one day I just went out.
I might be the only person in the world who doesn't like J-Lo Allure's Vogue.
Really? Maybe that's why you don't like mine. Gag.
No, you I'm gonna keep it real. You just Vogue like a man. Like, I don't like mannish Vogue. Like, it's so, you Vogue very, very old school, very, very ABC 1, 2, 3. So
yeah.
I don't really. I like a lot of different styles of Vogue, but I know why people like J-Lo. I just can't get into it. I'm not saying that I don't see the value in her Vogue. I just personally don't like it. But moving away from that, try to answer this question honestly. Do you feel that you have experienced negative aspects walking Realness in the scene?
No, not me personally.
Okay. So my question was, what do you think the scene would look like if we didn't have Realness in it? And why do you think Realness... Actually, why do you think... What do you... Forgive me. What do you think... Why do you think Realness is necessary in the scene?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't say that any of the categories are necessary.
Can you just answer the question, man?
Well, I really don't know how to answer that question without just my brain kind of formulating how I'm going to answer, so you won't, so you can understand how I think. But I with the type of people that's in the scene, I think it's needed. And the only reason I think it's needed is because that's just like me when I first came out. I did not know that there were gay people other than, when I just seen gay, I just seen flaming homosexuals, which is nothing wrong with that. But I thought that's what you had to be considered gay. I didn't know. That's one thing that attracted me to Realness, that I can be myself and it's still appreciated, and that doesn't mean that I'm not a part of the community. It's just that I don't do as much as the next person. You see what I'm saying? Or either I may not be like Miss Thing Girl, this and all that, like everything that I grew up seeing as gay, or what they used to call a sissy. You don't have to be that and still understand that you are still gay. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's needed because it's somewhere that those people can actually participate. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let me ask you another question. Let me rephrase a little. Mm-hmm. So my question is, I don't understand why we have realness. I understand that it's been around for a long time, and I understand that realness is needed in for people's day-to-day lives, for safety, for this heteronormative world that we live in. You follow me?
Uh-huh.
But when we rent out the YMCA Center and we have 500 people from the LGBTQ community there, why do we have an entire umbrella category dedicated to pretending to being heterosexual? We don't even make spaces for heterosexuals in our space. The only people that we allow are usually women. That's the only heterosexual people that you will really find at a ball. You won't really find too many straight men at a ball. So I'm just wondering why we dedicate 2 hours of our rented time to pretending to be heterosexual, while we glorify heterosexuality so much, but we don't even open spaces for heterosexuality actually in our space. But we want to pretend to be heterosexual so much when we rent out this YMCA and we create a space where we can foster acceptance, belonging, and community, competition, and etc.
I think that's where they got lost at then. I honestly believe that's where it got lost. People trying to understand why we even have that category. And from what I understood, and the reason why I don't have a problem with it is because, like I said before under your post, before I came into Ballroom, let's go right there. Before I came into Ballroom, we always had tea sessions and clock, like it was funny to us. It's just like when we were playing the dozens or something like that, or we're not trying to be straight. It's just who's going to get up.
But that's okay. So that's not really my question. I'm asking you, why do we as a people, as a community, why do we feel it's necessary to have realness at balls?
Because it's fun. It's fun. That's what I'm saying. It's fun. Like,
okay.
It's something fun for the guy that's not the flamer or something like that. If that's what you want to do, it's got mixed up in a sense. Sure, you can see somebody real on the floor be the biggest sissy afterward. But when it originally started, like I said, it's fun to say. In your opinion, you think it's fun to pretend to be straight, and that's why we do it? No, we're not. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all got it backwards. I'm not pretending to be straight. I'm asking the judges which one of us is clocked. That's the funny part. So that's why I said maybe that's the reason why people get upset for being chopped. Why are you getting upset for being chopped when, to me, realness has always been, if you chop me, that means that you didn't think that I was real and I'm clocky. I'm telling you that I know I'm not clocked. I can walk anywhere. It's like a challenge of who see it and who don't see it, of me being clocked in the streets. Not me trying to be real, just me amongst my peers asking which one of us will get clocked first. He'll get clocked first with me. And that's the way that I saw it through my eyes, only to see that other people see it different. They see it as trying to be their heterosexual counterparts. That's what I'm saying.
Because that's the definition of realness. The definition of realness is to blend in, to exist as heterosexual. It's to move freely between heterosexual people and they would never know. It's not about what you're saying. That's the way that you saw it, but that's not what it's about.
But the only reason it's not about that is because y'all were lied to. See, I don't consult with people from the 90s. I consult with people from the 70s. Okay, I consult with the people that came out and will tell you that if you're sitting in a reading session, in a gay reading session, and we're all together, we're at a kickback, and y'all start going at each other and who's clocked, who's not, and y'all reading and y'all shade and stuff like that, and you turn to your friends and say, "You judge. Who will be more real than the next?" That's how they started doing all that kind of stuff, because they had boys out there and stuff like that that were gay, that were a part of the community. You see what I'm saying? That's how they was judged. And then, like I said, even with the Ebonies, I come from a realness house. You did have the doggone boys that maybe did not mess around with, did not live the lifestyle, but they did the things on, the sexual part and stuff like that, or they participated in the ballroom. But in their real life, they were just the everyday regular guys. So this is something that they participated in to say, no, you would never clock me. You don't even know I'm gay. So it was fun to them to know that they could walk around and nobody knew that they was gay, because this was their actual lifestyle and what they live. Am I fitting the trying to be straight? No, I'm not trying to be straight. I'm saying that you cannot clock me. That's all it really was. It wasn't trying to be straight.
People live that way because they are insecure. Because you learn at a very young age that being assigned male at birth, you have to carry yourself with a certain level of masculinity. So even if your sexual orientation is that you might like men, you bury the feminine parts of yourself to fit in with society.
Well, can I ask you this then? Because I know you said that people do that, they're insecure. I would have to say that some. I can't say all. Because if a woman can feel like she needs to act like a man because that's how she feels, and she feels that is what she is and that feels comfortable to her, what is wrong with a man?
I'm GNC, so I'm not a non-binary person. So there is... that doesn't really apply to me. Like I've been indoctrinated into all of that because I live in Western society, but I've made the conscious decision to have a fluid gender identity. So,
which is nothing. But like I said, but there's nothing wrong with that.
You don't have to. I know I'm fine. You don't have to tell me there's nothing wrong.
No, but what I'm saying is, what I'm telling you that I feel there's nothing wrong with that, even though you know. What I'm saying is, what is wrong with a gay man liking to be a man? It's not that you're insecure. You just like being male or
see the thing about attraction is learned. Attraction isn't a natural thing. You see, we are attracted to, like, I'm gonna use myself for example. I'm attracted to men, but I learned at a very young age that femininity was not a good thing for a man to be. So once you learn that and you instill that within yourself, when you grow up and you're attracted to men, you're not attracted to feminine men because you learn that femininity was an inferior thing. It was a weaker thing. It was not a good thing. So there are a lot of men who are attracted to men, but they wouldn't be attracted to that man while he's wearing lipstick, because they've learned that this is not the right thing. They've learned that is unattractive. And people don't understand that you have to check your attractions. Your attractions are programmed into you.
And see, that's crazy to me, because for me, like I said, I'm pansexual, as in sexual, like as it didn't matter what gender I had sex with.
Yeah, I understand. I'm saying I was speaking for the average gay person. The average gay person who is no fats, no femmes. Oh, I just don't like feminine guys. Why can't you just be masculine? Da 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 da. That type of rhetoric isn't because that's your natural attraction.
That's programmed.
Yes, that is the programming you get from Western society, from your parents, from the world, from TV, from media, from the very second that you associate the fact that blue is a masculine color and pink is a feminine color, and you learn that when you're born and you're wrapped in a blanket. So the programming starts instantly. There's so many people that think that pink is a female color, a feminine color, but a color cannot possess a gender binary whatsoever. It just can't.
Right. Just like they think black is evil and white is pure, you know what I'm saying? And like, who said that? Like, where did that come from? But I was just going to say that's kind of like, with me, I understand what you're saying, because with me, I never understood that part. And I know that that's Western civilization, because with me being gay, I do not like masculine men. Like, if I just had to be attracted to a man, I wouldn't be attracted to a masculine man. You have to do something feminine for me to be attracted to you. There has to be some type of feminine quality for me to be attracted to you. I'm attracted to femininity more than I'm attracted to masculinity. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand completely, but for a lot of gay men, it's the exact opposite, because they're indoctrinated into being hyper masculine. Like, it's right, the no fats, no femmes, the way that gay men put masculinity on a pedestal. Like, you might not be attracted to, like, there are gay men who are not attracted to them, but they're attracted to their masculinity. That's why the trade is in such high demand, because they have this level of masculinity that we learn at a young age is desirable. And that is all programming.
I feel you.
It's good to be felt.
I understand.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think ballroom would look like? I want you to imagine we're in a fantasy ballroom world where we create the rules. What do you think ballroom would be if we didn't have any realness categories?
To be 100% honest with you, I think it would be the same.
The same in what way?
The good, the bad, and the ugly, and the indifferent, because at first I used to think, and I used to be like, oh my God, realness is just out of control, right? Realness is out of control, but here lately, I just got knocked in the mouth.
Oh, I saw that when you was walking runway. They bust you right down to the white meat.
I wasn't walking runway.
Oh.
I was a commentator.
Damn.
During European runway. So you see what I'm saying? So my thing is, I don't know what is going on with the aggression of ballroom, and I wouldn't even say ballroom. See, a lot of stuff that we do, because I know I live in a ballroom bubble, but when I step outside the bubble and I see people that are not in ballroom, like these people on these shows and all this kind of stuff, aggression and toxicity is so big. Runway, they're pushing, shoving, everybody's upset, everybody's mad. Fashion categories. I almost had a fight in a fashion category. I'm like, what? Y'all supposed to just be nice looking, pushing. We had something where two girls were still in face, and it turned into a whole toxic situation because they was put. Like, I don't understand where's the aggression coming from. I thought it was only used to be realness. You know what I'm saying? Because we're reading each other, even from the males, the females, whatever, and they're reading and stuff like that. Now, I've never been that one. I never really liked that part. But I'm like, if we took it away, because at first I was like, if we took it away, then maybe we'll just have some fun damn categories. But it looked like all the other categories, like, I don't know where this aggression.
I mean, I think those are one-off situations. But I think when we talk about, there are people who only walk realness in ballroom. So if I think those same people would still be involved in ballroom, but they would have to go and develop another category. So they would have to learn how to Vogue. They would have to learn how to walk runway. They would get involved in fashion categories. They would be gym rats and, walk sex siren. Like, I think we would see a different level of participation in talent. Like, because there's probably so many untapped talent people that are just solely walking realness, and it's because they've never been pushed to walk anything else.
So what about those people that's not them?
They wouldn't know.
Well, what I'm saying is, what about the people that saw that, right, in ballroom? Mm-hmm. And that does not interest them, but what drew them to ballroom was that they found something that was a lane for them. That I can.
That's not people don't come to ballroom to stand in front of judges and twirl their hair around. People come to ballroom for community, for acceptance, for competition, for the feeling of family. People come to ballroom for that reason. The categories is extra.
So my thing is, when you came to that, that's what I just said. That means that you're saying exactly what I'm saying. I can get a son right now that have not been to a ball, right? And now that he started coming to the ball and stuff like that, he's in ballroom because of family and everything that you just said and all this kind of stuff. But now he starts coming out to the competition. He don't want to do no runway, no face, no fashion, nothing. That's just not him. He's feel like he's a regular guy.
There are people in ballroom that don't walk categories at all. There are people that come to balls just for community.
Right, they call them spectators and stuff like that, but I mean, they've been like spectating for eons. They can tell you everything about
like D Dollars.
Right, and to be honest, I feel like a lot of, they're going to hate me for this, but there are certain spectators that can be judges. If you ask me, if you're talking about judging from the understanding of what's going on the floor, it's some people that analyze, they love all of it, they just don't walk it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like me, I have a general knowledge for every category. I mean, granted, I've always walked balls, like I've never stopped, but I don't disagree with that, but I think we have a certain mentality when it comes to being judged. We want to be judged by somebody who felt the same feelings that we did. It's not really fair to me. Like, I don't really get into like the celebrity judges and that type of thing, but I want somebody who felt the anxiety, who felt the pressure of getting ready for a category. They just know ballroom at a different scale. Mm-hmm. So that's all.
But like I said, I just feel like if it was taken away, I feel like it's not really necessarily the category as it is us as just us as people in.
I just don't understand why we have the category. It really makes no sense to me.
I like it. I think it's fun. And you know what else?
It doesn't make sense that like heterosexual people are like the very people who don't want you to serve in the military, who don't want you to be able to donate blood. These people literally invented a disease in an attempt to eradicate us, and it backfired. They don't want us to adopt children. They don't want us to get married. Like, these people are like very villains in in a lot of people's story. And so it's so crazy to me that we would rent a YMCA out, create a community, create this and pretend to be them. And then devalue other people based off of that. Like, you can literally go to a ball and a trans woman be calling another trans woman a boy, a man. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that trans woman wants to be cisgender so bad that she wants to perpetuate transphobia.
And that's why I said it's
different. I don't understand why that's fun. I don't understand why pretending to be straight is fun. I just don't see it.
I feel like, and I feel the same way about, this is why comedy is not even comedy anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that I grew up with, you get comedians that get up and say some extreme things that became famous off of some of the things that are real life stuff, but they made fun out of it. And like how a lot of people say you gotta laugh from this or whatever.
People are now beginning to understand that trans people are people. That trans people do have feelings. People are beginning to understand that it's not okay to devalue and demean somebody based off how they look. Like people in our community are just starting to take our power back, and that's what it is. Like, the fact that people have this defense of like, oh, we've been doing that for years. Oh, we've always done that. Yet, like, I don't understand why black people say that when white people have been doing slavery for years, over 400 years. But we as black people understand that slavery is wrong. But you can't understand that something that you've been doing for years was wrong all that time. You can't change. It doesn't make sense.
I just feel like if they wanted to make change with it, I just don't see that. I feel like the people the way that you are explaining stuff like that, it would be like no need for it or anything like that, or it would be. But I mean, you're telling people that feel like they don't have a problem with it. They don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not there to tear. Like, I don't tear people. Like, I literally just stand there most of the time. Even when I have won, or I'll say something funny, like when somebody has been aggressive, I say, "Why is he at work like this? You need to clock out." And everybody else fall out laughing. You know what I'm saying? This is executive realness. Why are you angry?
And I think when realness is like that, when it's more of a fantasy category, and it's not about homophobic stuff and femphobia and all this other stuff, all these other negative qualities, I do think it can be fun. Like at the Balenciaga ball, Legendary Realness, and like everybody came up and they dressed like an old person. Like, I thought that was fab. I think that is wonderful, and I think that is, but those types of categories are very few and far between. We are literally most of the time pretending to be heterosexual. It's not about being a fantasy. It's about being a cisgender person who's transphobic, a cisgender person who's homophobic. That's what literally we do at Realness. Like they literally push each other, like male figure Realness. They push each other, call each other faggots, like it. And then at the end of the day, there's one supreme homophobic person walking that gets a shiny plastic trophy and some cash and say, "Good job for your homophobia."
See, that's why, as a commentator, people never understood why I said one person on my left, one person on my right. There is no need for you touching and all that stuff, because if you cross me, then that means you push me out the way. So y'all will never touch if you one person on the right, one person. Let's get into the category. Now, me personally, I don't like just standing there. I don't like just regular, are you realness? Because that would be like what you're saying.
That's boring.
What the fuck are we doing? But if you're saying, okay, if you put a theme on it or something like that, and we're in a character, because what I do like about executive realness is you being at work. We normally have to play a certain part at work. This is not about, are you gay? Nobody's questioning you at work. Do you look like an executive? Do you look like an executive where nobody's clocking tea? So we get to play like with our, like our business cards, the way we're, you know what I'm saying? Are we looking like the stern boss?
I understand all that. I think the creative aspect of realness is, I think that's fine. It's not realness as a whole I have a problem with. It's the homophobic slurs, the transphobic slurs, the gender dysphoric comments, the colorist comments, that's what I have a problem with. It's not the creativity, it's not the fantasy of it. It's the glorification of heterosexuals in a space where we don't even welcome them. It's all so like asinine to me.
So my thing is, if I understand you said that, what would Ballroom look like if we just did not have realness at all?
I think it would be fab.
But my thing is, Ballroom without realness at all, don't think that's going to happen. So my thing is, instead of us just imagining Ballroom without realness at all, how about changing the culture of realness, of how we bring it over?
I said we should revamp realness. That's my hashtag, revamp realness. I think that's possible. I think we need to have more creative categories in realness, but I just think at the very core nature of pretending to be heterosexual is wild to me. So even if they did revamp realness, it's like everybody is a real person at the end of the day. So I just don't see the glorification of heterosexuals in our community. I don't understand that. That to me no longer makes sense. It doesn't. Like, I understand a trans woman has to look a certain type of way if she's gonna, go to McDonald's or, go to the grocery store. I understand that she has to have a certain level of passability in order to be safe. But in a community where we control the narrative and we control everything, I don't understand why this trans woman would then come to a ball and tell another trans woman she looks like a man, when she herself very well knows what she battled with, her own gender identity, her own mental traumas, her own emotional struggles, her own family life. So it makes no sense to me that this happens. And it doesn't, it's not going to stop happening, because we want to be accepted by straight people so bad. And they're never going to accept us.
Well, I don't like, I don't even like that. Like, I'm the kind of person that, to be honest with you, I'm anti-straight. Like, when it comes down to it, I swear, I don't want to go to no park. I don't want to go to the kickbacks. I don't want to go to the clubs. I don't want to go to none of that, because although they may say they don't have a problem with you, the minute some shit pop off, you're going to see what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see how everybody's going to turn. And so I'm really scared, especially with my sisters, my daughters. I hate when they go to the straight set, because if anything gets clocked, especially with fish will clock you in the movie and try to make it a big thing. If you just like her, just say that. And now the boy is getting mad because the girl, what they say, the cisgender woman said, stop doing him, or they'll say, stop doing him like that. A whole girl standing in front of them. If you like them, you should just say it. You don't got to talk to them. Like, now there's this anger and this rage, and now they're all against the woman of trans experience. You know what I'm saying? I don't like those type of environments.
Yeah, trust me, you're preaching to the choir. But we've been on the phone for 40 minutes, and I really appreciate your you coming on the show. I love you. Can't wait to see you. You'll never beat me in a voguing battle, so give it up.
Your time is coming.
Baby, you will never. Baby, I tore you up so bad. I did that Cassandra stunt on you.
Oh my God, that was.
Why did I give you that Cassandra stunt? I ate that.